Hello everyone, and welcome to the RV Inspection and Care channel. I'm Dwayne and I'm a certified RV inspector. But today we have a very special guest with us, and that's Carol. She's a solo RVer traveling in her Class B van. And she's going to share with us her experiences on her Class B and also maybe some other RVing tips and wisdom that she can bring us as well. So Carol, welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
We're very glad to have you.
Thank you.
You know, if I had to start off with one question first, it would be, how do you like your Class B van?
I love my Class B. I've been on the road for 5 months now. It's exceeded my expectations. It was the perfect choice for me.
Wow. Well, now, to me, my question next would be, why did you choose a Class B instead of, say, like a small travel trailer, something along that line?
Well, actually, I did look at travel trailers first. I figured a small travel trailer, about 15, 16 feet, would be perfect for me. I found a couple floor plans I really liked, but then I got to thinking about it. The travel trailer is only 15 to 16 feet, but I've got my vehicle pulling it. So I still have the long vehicle I'm contending with. Can I pull into all the places I want to pull into? I have to remember to do the wide turns. Another thing was a safety issue for me personally. If I'm boondocking or if I'm staying at Cracker Barrel or something like that, I'm sleeping in my trailer. I'm away from my engine. If I'm harassed or feel insecure or threatened in any way, I have to leave my trailer, get into my vehicle to leave. And that was just a little uncomfortable for me. The next thing I looked at was a Class C. And Class C's are bigger, of course. They're wider, there's more room, but still, again, people know that that's your home. And I felt like it was so cumbersome. They're longer than what I have. So then I was kind of inclined to go with the Class B. It's smaller, it's easier to maneuver, I can get in almost any place, I don't have to worry about where I'm going. So really, that was a better choice for me personally.
Very good. Well, now you've had a little time to be in it and travel around in it for a while. So what would you say are your favorite features about your Class B van so far?
I love my floor plan. Most of the Class Bs have a floor plan where the seating is in the back. So you have one sofa across the back, or you might have twins. And I've sat in a couple of those, but it felt a little cramped. Now mine, the seating is opposite my sliding doors on my van. So when I have my screen up or I'm looking out the window, I'm on the computer, I'm watching TV, I'm actually looking out into nature. So it just feels roomier. When I look down the side of my RV, I've got windows on both sides, I have a longer view. So it feels much more roomy to me. Now the second thing would be something that I installed on the back. I have a carrier on the back. It was a tip I received from another campground person that I made friends with a while back. And I have a lot of things in that, so it's really kind of alleviated some of the clutter in my unit. Things are back there now. My sewer hose is back there. My water hose is back there when I'm on the road. So it's really given me a lot more room. So those would really be my two favorite features.
Yeah, you know, I actually saw that carrier on the back and asked you about it. I thought that was a real nice addition to it. So we'll try to feature that here in the video. Maybe put a picture up there now so everybody can see. Well, you know, one thing that I try to make clear on my channel is that, yes, every decision that an RVer makes has pros, but there are cons. So I'm sure there must be some things about the Class B van that you're just not quite as crazy about. So what are your least favorite features?
Well, there are three actually. The first one would probably be my refrigerator. I wanted a larger refrigerator. Mine is 5 cubic feet. It's also higher up as opposed to being low. But the thing is, I don't have two doors. There's not a separate door for my refrigerator and my freezer. And I found that I get a lot of ice buildup in the freezer. Now, the dealership has told me to raise the temperature in my refrigerator. When I do that, though, it gets too high. So I have to keep the temperature down, and that ice buildup is just horrible.
No.
And I've already had to defrost my refrigerator or my freezer once. I'm going to have to do it very soon. And that's just a job no one likes. It's time consuming and it's messy. And then what do you do with your food in the meantime? You have to keep it cool. So not a fun thing.
Yep.
The other thing is, I don't know what is a standard radio backup camera feature for Ram ProMaster, which is what I have. But Thor put in an aftermarket Pioneer system. I hate the Pioneer system. It is so complicated. When I took my vehicle into the dealership, the service advisor had trouble going through that system, setting it up.
Sounds complicated.
It is complicated. I've yet to figure it out. I ran into another owner that has the very same model that I have, and they said the same thing. They can't figure it out either. Plus, I've had 2 issues with it. It's totally gone down once, and now I have to take it back again because it really wasn't repaired exactly right. The third thing would be there is a compartment for my sewer hose. My sewer hose doesn't fit. It is a small diameter compartment, not very deep. Nothing will go in there. I was at a campground and an engineer and his wife were next door. They very graciously took me sewer hose shopping. We couldn't find a sewer hose to fit in there. So before I got my carrier, I put my sewer hose in a garbage bag and kept it in my shower. So now my carrier is much better than having my sewer hose in my shower when I'm on the road. But those are the 3 biggies for me. Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing those pros and cons of your experiences with the van so far. It's always nice to hear both sides of the discussion. But now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about something that you brought up as we were first talking in our first conversation with you when Sherry and I met you. And you mentioned Boondockers Welcome. And of course, I'm familiar with it to a degree. I've heard of it, and I think a lot of the subscribers to my channel have heard of it as well. But you were so positive about your experiences with it that I really wanted you to share that with everyone. And so maybe if, number one, you'd explain so we all understand what Boondockers Welcome is, and number 2, what are your personal experiences thus far?
Sounds good. Well, to start off, I've spent 29 days participating in the Boondockers Welcome. That's 29 nights I've been on the road and I've stayed for free. Basically, Boondockers Welcome is a website, and primarily for RVers. There are participants or hosts that allow you to stay on their properties, different places around the country, for free. You can't beat free. Now, sometimes they'll have 30 amp hookups, sometimes they'll have water, maybe Wi-Fi. They all have different things that they offer, different little rules that they have in-house, but you can stay for free. So that's the best part of it. So my 29 days I've spent there has really saved me a lot of money, a great $50 investment. Everyone has been delightful.
Really?
All of my hosts have gone above and beyond to make me feel welcome and at home. During the, I'm from Florida. When I was in Florida and we were all having stay-at-home orders, one of the Boondockers Welcome told me to stay as long as I wanted. They say stay 3 or 4 weeks. They didn't care, and they had 30 amp hookup that they didn't charge me for. Now, I do always pay for that. I feel it's, if I'm staying there, I'm using their electric, I really should give them something in return.
Right.
So, but it has worked wonderfully for me, and I really encourage other people to look at it. The one thing that I particularly like, before you even join Boondockers Welcome, you can go to their website. You can see very specifically who is participating around the country and what they're offering, what the rules are if you want to stay there. So you really get a good, feel on what you can really expect with the program. So that's one of the reasons I love it. That was my first night on the road. I stayed with the Boondockers Welcome.
Oh, that's great.
I do want to say one thing too. I was going to stay in Tennessee, down the road from where my sister lives. And the people had 30 amp hookup, they had water. Now they were leaving town that day to go to Montana. They offered to let me stay at their property by myself as long as I wanted. They said, make yourself at home. We know you're a single person. You'll be safe there. Now, that is so lovely. How can you beat that? That is so gracious.
You know, when I went through the experiences that people had on the Boondockers Welcome website, I found that actually happens fairly regularly. So that is kind of unique to the program. And we were so impressed with your impressions that Sherry and I actually went out, and we are now Boondockers Welcome people as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep. Well, before we end up here today, I wanted to ask one more question before you go. And that is, I'm sure that you've had a little experience now out there on the road, and we'd love to hear any RV tips or wisdom that you'd like to share with us.
Well, let's see. There are a few based on my vast experience now. But before I ever bought a unit, before I ever hit the road, I watched dozens and dozens of YouTube channels and got dozens and dozens of tips. Everyone said, you don't need so much stuff. Get rid of your stuff. I got rid of too much stuff. And so what happened was I had to go back and buy stuff. I got rid of too many towels, too many dish towels, too many t-shirts. And now the Salvation Army benefited greatly, which is nice, but it really was a bit of a waste. I would encourage everybody to take their time. Your RV may be a little messy for a while, but really take your time and find out what you need and what you don't need, and then start liquidating. It's a waste of money if you have to buy things that you've given away, and you might not always find exactly what you want. The other thing about taking your time too, this is your RV, it's your life and your lifestyle. Buy the unit that's right for you.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
I had sales consultants try to talk me into a C. A B is too small. My own sister wants me to get a C. She still wants me to get a C. I had my RV in for warranty work, and I sent her a picture of a Class C. She sends me a text back, trade yours in, trade yours in. And I told her, I have too much stuff in here, I don't want to do that. Oh, they'll help you move it. She is convinced my Class B is too small, but it is perfect for me. And it's perfect for me for now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to change my mind in a year, but I'm so happy with it now. That kind of ties into your sales consultant. If a sales consultant does not treat you with respect, go to a different sales consultant, go to a different dealership. I have had sales consultants try to talk me into a C or something that I don't want, or not treat me as a true buyer. Move on. You deserve to have someone looking out for your interests. Now, the other thing is a little more personal, I think. You know, we all think that we're safe, and sometimes we're careless. Now, I have flea and tick protection for my dog, so he's protected. I wasn't. So I know what you're supposed to do with ticks, you know, what you're supposed to wear and all that stuff, search for them. Did I do that? I did not. Got bit by a tick when I was in Tennessee. I did test positive for Lyme disease. Now, I've never really had it as far as I can tell. They put me on the antibiotics, and so I feel fine. I felt fine from day one. I did have an allergic reaction to the bite that had to be treated too. So I would just say, be careful out there. Be smart. We think we're smart. We think we're safe. We're not always.
Yeah.
So really, use your common sense and then have fun on the road.
Very good. Well, thank you for those tips. I'm sure they'll be beneficial for us all. Well, Carol, once again, I've got to say thank you for being on the channel. We're really glad you were here, and we wish you the best in your RVing travels.
Well, thank you very much, and happy trails to us all.
Thank you. Well, that's it for now. Have safe and happy travels, my friends. Until next time.